KCCI 8 News starts right now with breaking news.
And that breaking news comes from Dallas, Texas tonight. A heartbreaking end to the Hawkeye women's unforgettable season.
A tough loss in the NCAA championship to Louisiana State. Jeff, this was hard to watch.
Yeah, it really was. It started off well. You know, Iowa took their early lead, and sometimes it's just not your day, and it's the other teams. LSU right out of the gate, we kind of saw they couldn't miss. They shot 65% from three today, and when that happens, it's hard to win. They kind of gave Iowa a taste of their own medicine. Jasmine Carson for the Tigers came off the bench, 21 points in the first half, and they built a 21-point lead in the third quarter. And it's hard to overcome that. Even though they came close, it was a tough one. We're going to have more on that, though, in sports, of course.
All right. Thank you, Jeff. Well, our crews are across Iowa and in Dallas with reaction from Hawkeye fans. We start with sports director Scott Reister on the court in Dallas. Scott.
Hi guys, we're joined now live by Kate Martin after the 102-85 championship game loss. The Hawkeyes really battled back, cut that deficit to 7. I know, obviously, an emotional moment for you guys, and you guys are so close. Played 3 years straight together. If you can tell some of the emotions after fighting back and having the season that you guys had.
Yeah, I'm super proud of the way we fought back. I've said it before, we could be down by a million, and I would think that this team could come back. But LSU played really well tonight, and, you know, they knocked down some shots. So kudos to them, and we just needed to get some more stops, and we didn't. But I'm super proud of this team and what we've accomplished and how we fought back tonight. We never gave up, and we kept fighting until the end.
How emotional was that for you guys after everything you've been through and to make it this far?
Yeah, I mean, super emotional, a lot of tears. A lot of tears from everybody, and, you know, mainly for our seniors, our 2 seniors, McKenna and Monica. They are amazing people, and they're amazing basketball players, and they will be greatly missed next year in the locker room.
LSU averages 5 made threes a game. They were 11 of 17 from 3 in this game. They banked in that 3 at the half. When you saw that bank 3 go in, were you thinking like, uh-oh, or, I mean, what was the mentality like at halftime?
I think it was just that's how it goes, you know, and some nights people get hot, and some of their bench players got really hot tonight, and you know, when that happens, we got to get a hand up, you know, get closer. We've got to make adjustments, and we tried our best, but, you know, they did a great job. Their offensive game plan, whatever that was, they executed it really well.
A school record 31 wins. Iowa has never played in a championship game before. All the records. What are you going to remember when you look back on this season?
I'm just going to remember every single moment with these girls. I mean, you'll remember a national championship game, you'll remember the Final Four, but you're not really going to remember every single game in between. You're just going to remember the memories and the moments that you've had with your best friends in the locker room.
Well, thank you so much, Kate. I really appreciate you joining us. Once again, 102-85, the final score as LSU wins the national championship over Iowa. Coach Lisa Bluter, Monica Zanotto, and Caitlin Clark are on the podium right now. We're going to talk to them and hopefully get back to you a little bit later on in this newscast. Until then, Scott Reister live in Dallas. Back to you.
Scott, as you know and as everyone knows, Hawkeye fans travel. They travel well, they travel deep, they travel heavy, and this game was no shock to that. There were tons of Hawkeye fans in black and gold in the stands, and as the game ended, they were filing out. There were a lot of sad faces, dejected faces, and there were even some tears and lots of hugs. But you know what they say? They still support this team. They say they may have lost the game, but this team will never lose their support. Talk about the game tonight.
Well, this game was very disappointing, but you know what? I am so proud of this Iowa Hawkeye team. They have worked and worked and worked and battled the whole year to get to this point. And to be here in this stage is like monumental. And I can't tell you how happy we are just to be here to help support and to be here to see what went on.
We might be number 2, but we are number 1 in class.
Yep. That's right.
Go Hawkeye.
Yeah.
And that's a good point. Congratulations, Tigers. What most people said, most Iowa fans said is, you know what? They give their credit to LSU. They played a good game, played a better game today, but they are still strong supporters of their Iowa Hawkeyes, and that will never lose any steam. Let's go back to the studio with Stacey and I believe Laura.
All right, Marcus, thank you very much. I know this was a heartbreaker in Dallas, but like Ann said there, the Hawkeye women had such a great season.
Yes, we cannot forget that they just got to this point.
That's
this is historic in and of itself, and you could see that emotion in the locker room from Kate Martin.
Yeah, Kate Martin, what a champ right there. You know, talking to Scott live, really appreciate that. And obviously, right, put it in perspective. This was the first time they'd ever reached the national championship game. There was a point where it looked like they might have pulled off a historic comeback to win their first championship game, but LSU was just too much. They gave Iowa a taste of its own medicine. Let's look back really quick at a quick recap. You heard Scott say it, a 102-85 loss for the Hawkeyes in this game, and it's that 102 that obviously stands out. LSU could not miss. I told you all at the start of the show, 65% shooting from beyond the arc, 54% from the overall in this game. They built a 21-point lead in the third quarter. Iowa trimmed it to 8, but nothing more after that. Caitlin Clark, 30 points, not enough. A historic season ends. Really disappointing loss, obviously, but I mean, we've said it. I don't think we need to hammer it home again, but we will. Put it in perspective, right? They just played in a national championship game, and this entire run has just been historic and really fun for everyone across the state, regardless of your fandom, I'd like to think, to be able to follow along. Our coverage is going to roll on. Of course, we're going to hear from Scott throughout the evening. We're going to have a lot more in sports, including full game highlights, and we're going to have a lot of coverage coming up tonight on our show at 10. So,
all right, thanks so much. Yeah, we will continue to follow this.
All right, KCCI's Beau Bowman was in Carver Hawkeye Arena. If you couldn't be in Dallas for the game, that might have been the second best place to be.
Yes, that's right, Beau. What is the atmosphere like there? I mean, now people are a little disappointed.
Well, yeah, Laura, obviously a lot of disappointment here in Carver Hawkeye Arena tonight. But Marcus, he said it. This team has more support than any other team in the country, and that was on display here in Carver Hawkeye Arena. Only about half the seats were open for people to sit in, but if you close your eyes, you wouldn't be able to tell because it was just as loud as when the entire arena is full. Fans here in Iowa City I'm sure you could hear them all the way in Dallas. Speaking with some of those season ticket holders after the game, they say it's just an unfortunate end to the unforgettable season that this was.
It's just the pride, emotion. I mean, and knowing that you're a Hawkeye. I mean, there's just nothing greater. I don't care for they're from like any other teams in the nation. We are the best. We're the Hawkeyes.
Tough way to end the basketball season here in the state of Iowa, but we all know Caitlin Clark and a lot of the other starters are going to be back next year, and they'll be looking for revenge. But for now, we're live from Carver Hawkeye Arena. Beau Bowman, KCCI 8 News, Iowa's news leader.
All right, Beau, thank you. Well, we want to send it over to Todd Magel, who is live at Big Grove Brewery in Des Moines, where a lot of fans were also there today.
Hey, Lauren, Stacey, you know, there's 1,000, maybe more folks that were here at Big Grove Brewery. Most of them, sadly, have left. They watched what they thought was going to be an amazing game, and it turned out not to be in their favor. We found a super fan. This is her. This is Libby. Libby, stand up for me. Congratulations on a great season, but maybe not the best ending. What do you think about what happened today?
It was amazing. I know it's the outcome. It's not the outcome anyone wanted, but 40 minutes of Iowa hustle and heart, and those girls, I am proud is not a big enough word. As a fan, you're baseline proud. The fact that they get on the court. I'm enamored. I'm obsessed. To the Iowa Hawkeye, Lisa Bluter, Jan Jensen, all the coaches, all the players, we love you, and you're amazing, and we can't wait for next year.
I was going to say, next year could happen again, right?
Yes, it will be so much fun. And that's the best part of any sport. Playing it, watching it is fun. And you guys are fun. So thank you for one amazing fun year. And I can't wait for the next year. I will see you in Carver Hawkeye.
Awesome. Thanks, Libby. Appreciate it. Congratulations. Well, there's one super fan who's waiting for next year. We'll all be waiting for next year, and we'll be back here at the Big Grove to see what happens. We're live downtown. Todd Magel, KCCI 8 News, Iowa's news leader.
Oh, thank you, Todd. I know that Hawkeye spirit runs deep.
Oh, when she did that sigh, like, he found a big fan. Zane, it's time now to check in with you. And I mean, this has been a blustery day, but a warm day today.
It has, yeah. You get a little bit of both of those types of things here. If you're going to get some warmth this early in the year, it's probably going to come with some wind, but it felt great even with that breeze. Still a decent amount of sunshine right now here in the city of Des Moines. Those winds occasionally have gusted above 30 miles per hour. There's a steady wind that's slowly shifting around from the southeast to more the northwest now at about 15 to 20 miles per hour. Still some gusts though. Widespread 70s for highs. These are our current temperatures too. We're still right up at those highs. Northwestern Iowa, that's where the cool air is starting to sink in though on that northwesterly wind. So we all do drop a little bit here as we head through tonight. A few more clouds increase in the 12-hour forecast after dark too, and our temperatures head down towards the 40-degree mark into tomorrow morning. No big issue, especially since our winds are going to drop down too below 10 miles per hour. That's going to set us up for tomorrow, which brings few April showers now as we're heading into the first week of the new month. We've still got the potential though for some April severe weather too across parts of the state this week. We're going to be looking at locations and the time of day of that as well coming up in the full forecast.
Thank you, Zane. That women's NCAA tournament game, the championship game, was a heartbreaker for the Hawkeyes.
It was unfortunately not the result Hawkeye fans were wanting as they leave the arena there. We will go back out live to Dallas amid this heartbreaking loss right after the break.
Exactly what we have, so I'm just going to reflect back and appreciate everything we've been able to accomplish together.
What will you remember from this team?
I think more than the wins and losses, it's just all the moments in between. This is a confident group of girls, and if you have a young daughter or a young son, this is the type of team you want them to emulate and look up to, because this group is tremendous people, and I truly mean that. We win basketball games because we're a team. We win basketball games because we have confidence in one another. We're not always the most skilled. We're not always the fastest, the strongest. But, being a team can take you really, really far, and that's what I'm going to remember.
Just give you fuel for the fire for the future?
Absolutely. I'm lucky enough that this is my last time wearing an Iowa uniform. But I think I just appreciate what we did here and appreciate everything we've been able to accomplish this season. But I feel like sky's still the limit for myself in this program, and it excites me that we've been able to build this and accomplish something like this, and I think it just shows everybody in our program, we can do really tremendous things.
Caitlin, what does this mean for the future of women's basketball?
I was, taken back a little bit when we entered. I don't know if you guys were out there, but the amount of people out there, especially in black and gold, was pretty incredible. To me, that means way more than winning a basketball game, is the legacy these girls are leaving and the amount of joy we're giving to people and in their lives. We've been able to bring a lot of joy to people that are going through hard things, maybe battling sickness, battling other things that, is a lot bigger than a basketball game, and that's what's more important to me, and, inspiring young individuals that believe that they can be in moments like these when they're older. I was just that little girl that, wanted to be on this stage, and, it would have been nice to have confetti falling down, but, I still have a lot more to be proud of and accomplish some really good things, so, and I'm just grateful.
How blown away have you been by the Iowa fans this postseason, from Minneapolis to Seattle to Dallas, traveling, and just all the huge numbers at these games?
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily have been blown away because I know how incredible they are. I think more than anything, I'm just thankful that they, spend their time, their money, resources to come and support a team that, loves playing basketball and playing for one another. But I think they just love the product, and they can see the joy and the fun that we have with one another. And but more than anything, I'm so grateful. I think we've made so many, people turn into women's basketball fans, and to me that, makes me really happy. And I think they can see, how much fun these next few years are going to be for this program and the rest of the time Coach Bluder's at Iowa and what she's been able to build. So I'm just grateful and thankful, seriously, to every single Hawkeye fan that was here today from, near or far. I know it takes time and money to come to events like these, and, it means a lot to us, and we wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for them.
What was going through your mind as the team gathered out in front of the LSU bench, just kind of for that final huddle? What did Lisa say, and what was going through your mind as you walk off?
I think just, we always say together, because that's what we always want to be, is a team that's together and plays for one another, and, just wave to our fans that came and traveled all this way. And win or loss, we always, break it down together, and I was just trying to enjoy every single second, especially with, Mon and McKenna, two people that I've started 93 games with. So, it hasn't sunk in that I'll never get to play with them ever again, but just, relishing every second that we had out there.
You guys were down big, 12-0 run in the third quarter. Two questions. What was the halftime speech, or how did you guys kind of pick it back up? And also, at that moment, what was the belief like in you guys that you could come back?
Obviously, we could have decided to go one of two ways in the locker room, and I think that just speaks to this team is nobody was complaining, nobody was pouting. It was just a constant belief about what we could do. I think everybody understands what our offense is and what it can be, and we just knew we got to get one stop at a time and go get a score. And I think that showed a lot of fight, a lot of mental toughness when we came out there in the third quarter and cut it to I think 7 points. And obviously couldn't quite get over the hump, but I think it showed who we are and what we're about, and we were never going to give up.
Having everyone in foul trouble, how much did that impact the way you played the game? Did you have to kind of dial it back a little bit on defense yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Can't be as aggressive, and I'm just bummed for McKenna and Monica. They both have to end their career on the bench, and that's not something I really thought they deserved. And I think there was 37 fouls called tonight, which is a lot, and I think it's a tournament record for how many fouls were called. So they were calling it tight both ways, and sometimes that can be really hard to adjust to, especially coming off a game that was super physical. But it is what it is, and I thought the people that came in and played really hard. Sometimes it's hard to come in off the bench and give minutes when you haven't been getting them. So I'm just proud of our group. We never complained, we never hung our head. It was just a constant belief that we could get back in the game.
The action that led to the tech, were you even thinking about it? Was it frustration? Were you shocked that it was?
Yeah, I was surprised it was called a technical just for, I didn't say anything. It was just for throwing the ball under the basket, rolling it under the basket where the ref would have been to, throw it into the free throw. But, I'm not the ref. That's what she called. It is what it is. And obviously I'm not going to go back in time and change it. It's not really what I care about at this point in time.
You got really emotional up at the press conference. Is that uncommon for you to have those kind of tears? I know when you were
Yeah, I'm not like a huge emotional person. I think like the question you asked or whoever asked it, I think it was somebody else actually, just being able to understand my impact and what I've been able to do for the state of Iowa. I probably will never be able to understand what I've been able to do and what this team's been able to do. But I'm just so grateful. Like, it's so special, seriously. And, I can't wait to get back home and to the state of Iowa and to celebrate everything that we did, because we did a lot of amazing things and there's still so much to be celebrated. But, I just, I can't comprehend how much joy and, inspiring people to do whatever they dream. And that, to me, that's what means so much, for real. And I'm just grateful that I've had the platform to be able to do that.
What people see and think when they see Iowa women's basketball and that you guys belong in this upper echelon of the sport?
Yeah, I think, it shows what Coach Bluder's built, and there's been a lot of amazing people that come before me. Megan Gustafson, Sam Logic, people have built a platform for me and this team to thrive on. It's not like we just built this program from the ground up. Coach Bluder's been doing this for quite some time, and she deserved this more than anybody, and I'm just so grateful that she believed in me so much to lead this team and, hand the team over to me to help us get to this point. So I think it just shows, you can always bet on yourself, take a chance on yourself, and once you get a lot of people around you that have the same goal as you, you're going to accomplish really awesome things.
When Monica fouled out, you went over to her and gave her a hug. Did you say anything to her in that moment, or why did you walk over and
just that I love her so much, and I'm so proud of everything that she's been able to do, but also there were still 6 minutes left in the game, so I didn't want to start crying or anything. But I just wanted to appreciate everything Monica's done for this program, because it's been tremendous, and she hasn't always been one to get all the credit that she deserves. I think she's very underrated. She's done a tremendous things, but more than anything, she's been a tremendous friend to me, and always had my back, whether it's on the court, off the court, and that's what means the most to me.
Okay, thanks, Caitlin.
Thanks, Caitlin. Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Caitlin. Great season.
Caitlin Clark, a generational player. That's just right. Listening to her talk is just the joy that this team has brought to this state.
Yeah, and I think it'll take them a little while to figure out or to understand the impact that not only she but the entire team has had on women's sports and the fans that they have created for women's sports in our state.
The fans, people that didn't even watch basketball before, the little girls out there,
That's
Zane,
right.
that are watching Caitlin Clark. It's just been incredible.
Yeah, and it's not, it didn't just start this last week or two
Right,
either. This has
that's
been
right.
building for a while, absolutely. Now back here to the north in the state of Iowa today, weather-wise, gosh, fantastic day. We are wrapping up here on our Sunday. We got a few high clouds in the city of Des Moines at this hour and other parts of the state, but look at that temperature. It's still above 70 degrees. We've got that wind occasionally up towards 20 miles per hour and some gusts that are higher than that, but that really was helpful in bringing all that heat in from the south. There's that little band of clouds. Otherwise, mostly sunny conditions we've had all the way through today. There is a boundary snaking across the state now that's switching our wind direction to more of a northwesterly orientation, and that's going to cool us off just a bit here tonight. And then as we go through the overnight hours, all we're going to have in our skies is probably a few clouds. You see the hour-by-hour model here tries to paint in maybe a couple of showers. I don't think that's going to be more likely until we head towards tomorrow during the day on your Monday. Cloudy skies tomorrow, maybe a few showers here and there. We're not talking widespread rainfall, though. Just don't be shocked if you walk outside at some point during the day and there is some wet pavement or some rainfall coming down. Maybe even a rogue thunderstorm as we head towards the evening. A little cooler too tomorrow. No more 70s. We'll have probably widespread 50s for highs. And then our attention is going to be turned to a boundary to the south as we head towards late tomorrow night and into the day on Tuesday. Watch as we head towards our temperatures falling through the 40s and into eventually they're going to jump from the 40s upwards through the day on
Ada, Monica, and McKenna.
Yeah, that's tough because those two women have meant so much to our program. And, you know, when you coach somebody for 4 and 5 years, you get to know them really well and you build relationships. And I mean, it's like a family. And so to think of the locker room next year without Monica and McKenna being there, it's almost too much right now to think about. I want to coach them again. I wish I could coach them again tomorrow.
How special is it to still loyalty that the starting five has had in this program and how far they've come?
In a day where the transfer portal and, you know, jump, and, you know, the next best thing to have 5 women that stayed together and believed in each other and instead of, you know, work through things instead of jumping to the next place. Shows you the type of people they are.
How would you describe Caitlin's maturity and growth? I mean, she didn't take any bait out there and obviously is answering these questions pretty in a pretty impressive way.
It's hard. That girl gets, you know, the best defender all the time. She gets people talking to her all the time. She gets people that, you know, want to tear her down, and she doesn't go for it. And I think that her growth, especially this year, has been outstanding. That's why that technical foul, I think, hurts even more, because I know how far she's come. I know that what wasn't any intent. I'll have to watch it on film, but there was no intent whatsoever for her to disrespect the game in any way. And for her to get that, I don't know, it's not right.
After that technical, that pushes her from 3 fouls to 4.
Yeah.
How does that adjust your game plan as a coach from there on out?
Completely. I mean, we're playing handcuffed, right? I mean, we're playing with 3 people that have 4 fouls. We're playing with Monica Sonano plays half a game today. She's one of the best shooters in America, and she plays 20 minutes. I mean, I just feel bad for my 2 seniors having to go out of this game without being able to be on the floor.
A couple more questions.
How much do you think this season has redefined when people, you know, we've talked about the sport, but when people see Iowa women's basketball, that you guys are in this upper echelon and belong, you know, year in and year out?
I hope that when people see women's basketball at Iowa, they think they're proud. They're proud of the University of Iowa. They're proud of the product. They want to be a part of it, and there's room. You know, there's room to join along with us. So I just hope that they're really proud of where we've taken this program.
Especially as motivated a kid as she is?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I need to think about that a little bit, about what she needs to work on, what we want. You know, last summer we were going to try to add some post-ups to her game, and it really didn't go the way we wanted it to. So I'm not sure. I'm going to have to really reflect on that and kind of think of, you know, how I can help her, you know, grow her game even more. And that's, you know, I got to sit down and figure that out. It's my responsibility.
Big deficit there, but you came out swinging in the third quarter. What was the halftime like for you guys, and also what does it say about your team?
You know, we kept believing at halftime. We honestly did, and we came out and got it to within 7 points. I'm proud of the fight that these women had coming out there. They could have lay down, and they didn't. They just kept fighting, and I'm just so proud of them for that.
23 years, why was this team special?
Any time you accomplish something that's never been accomplished, it's pretty special. Pretty special team. So, we made it to the national championship game. That's something that's never happened in the Iowa women's basketball history. And we have a storied history. We had the player of the year again. So a lot of great things to be thankful for. We are genuinely blessed. We really are.
Okay, thanks, Lisa.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Congratulations. Thank you.
Yeah, there you hear Scott Reister wrapping up with head coach Lisa Bluter. We said it all day, put it in perspective. Iowa falls in the national championship game today, 102-85 to LSU, falling just short on a historic season. Let's look back really quick at how we got to that result. Obviously, Caitlin Clark leading this team to a championship for the first time. Could they complete it? Obviously, we know the answer no, but it was looking good early. They're up 4-3, and a logo 3 is how we got Caitlin Clark's introduction to the biggest stage in all of college basketball. 7-3 after that. Mom and dad watching, they were fired up. But there's Angel Reese to a pass to Flau'jae Johnson. LSU really good today. That's a foul in the bucket. They're up 10-9, but Clark responding immediately. A 3, 12-10. I mean, it looked as if Caitlin Clark could do no wrong in those opening minutes. She had 14 points in the first quarter, was absolutely superb, 18 all. They got a little taste of their own medicine from Jasmine Carson off the bench for LSU. She hits a 3 there. They're up 5. They're up 1 here. Carson was 5 of 5 from deep in the first half, 7 of 7 overall from the field. It's a 4-point lead. LSU fans liking it. Now right in the face of Caitlin Clark. That's good defense. Said it at the top of the show. When a team shoots 65% from 3, not much you can do. Very next possession, a heat check. And she, like I said, unconscious. You saw it there, 16 points after that. And this is kind of where you threw your hands up. I think we were all sitting in the studio and just kind of gasped. Nothing you could do. They took a 17-point lead heading into the half. Like I said, Carson had 21 points. They trailed by 21, the Hawkeyes did. But you heard the team say it in those live interviews with Scott Reister. It didn't matter if they were down by 1 million or down by however much they were going to fight back. They cut it to 8 there. They're down 12. Caitlin, step back 3, cuts the lead to 9. And, I mean, we got a little taste of hope. And here's the questionable technical foul call that everyone's talking about. Here's the replay. There was the foul called on Monica Sonano, and Caitlin just kind of flings it back. Let's get another angle. And, yeah, that's the technical. I don't agree with it. That's kind of all I'll say. Doesn't seem like it warranted a technical foul. That was her 4th after that. And anytime Iowa got close, they just couldn't put it away or anytime they got close, LSU just kind of punched right back, keeping the Hawkeyes at arm's length. The final, like I said, 102-85. Iowa's dream season ends in a national title game. Tough. But as you heard all of them say, hold their heads up high. A historic season for the Hawkeyes, even though it ends on a bitter note. We're going to have a lot more coming up tonight. We're going to hear from Scott Reister once more tonight at 10. Tough one for the Hawkeyes today in Dallas.
All right, let's go back to weather here quickly to talk about a whole bunch of stuff happening here as we head into this week. Tomorrow, we mentioned it's going to be showery, mostly just gray skies and 50s, not nearly as warm as today. Tuesday, obviously, we want you to be keeping an eye on. There's more potential for more severe storms, not unlike we saw this past Friday. And then we're going to drop into some cool winds on Wednesday, but then things are quieter here the rest of the week, and we'll work our way back up towards 60s by this work week's end.
All right, thanks, Zane. And we have crews in Dallas. We're going to have a lot more coming up. We are not done yet, so watch tonight at 9 and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching.